Hello, and welcome to SportyMKE. I'm your host, Brian Schmidt. On this episode, we will inform you of a new way to receive sports information when we talk about the podcast, Pardon My Take. Also, we will dive into what it takes to be a Division I athlete and how they got into the position they are today. All of this and more coming up on SportyMKE. Welcome to SportyMKE. I am here live from the Milwaukee PBS studios inside MATC's downtown campus. Today, I am here with a special guest, Tom Silverstein, a Packers insider for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. How are you doing today, Tom? That's great. We will talk with Tom a little bit later, but for right now, going the wrong way. For now, let's see a new way for sports fans to listen to sports any way they want. Podcasts have become increasingly more popular with new technology. For those of you that don't know, podcasts are when someone talks about certain subjects and subscribers tune in to hear what they have to say. Let's take a look at an up-and-coming podcast that is taking sports fans by storm.
In the world of sports, there are a lot of ways to get information. From getting notifications on Twitter about breaking news to watching different sports-related shows, the way we view sports has grown. One new form of gathering information in the 21st century is by listening to podcasts. Podcasts can cover all kinds of genres from comedy to true crime. It is a new way for people to get entertainment and listen to the things they want to hear. A growing genre in the podcast world is sports podcasts.
So Pardon My Take is hosted by PFT and Big Cat. They're both huge football fans, but generally know a lot about every sport and pay attention to every sport. Big gamblers, big sports gamblers. Big Cat's a Wisconsin-Madison grad, and PFT's from Virginia.
Pardon My Take, the main two people who talk the most are Big Cat and PFT. Big Cat's a graduate out of Wisconsin, so that's how I got into the podcast. And then the producer, Hank, he chimes in a little bit. And then they also have an intern, Billy Football. He chimes in at the end.
I'd say the reason I like listening is there's two main reasons. And the first reason would be because it's funny. Originally, when it was recommended to me, someone was telling me about it and they were talking about how funny it was. And that's the main reason that I love it. It's just really funny to listen to. But, I mean, it's the number one sports podcast, and that's for a reason. It's really informative for sports, stay up to date on all the latest things and not just like the normal stuff that's being reported by ESPN and that. Kind of like the weird stuff, the fun stuff.
I like listening to it because it's funny. It's a lot of sarcasm, and it's mainly about sports, and I've liked sports my whole life. And they just make fun of athletes for doing stupid things during games and whatever else they do in their personal life. And it's just funny. It's a good time to listen to.
In a world where it is hard to keep people's attention, it is important to make entertainment as entertaining as possible.
I'd say my favorite part is the beginning. After the Big Cat and PFT do an ad read, they play a song, a little Electric Avenue action, and just gets me pumped.
I'd say my favorite part of the podcast are like the inside jokes that they have. Like, you listen every week and as you go along, you start to get their humor and stuff like that, and they have running jokes that come back and make reappearances a year later, and it's just, I'd say that's my favorite part.
Most people live a busy lifestyle and do not have time to do the things they enjoy. It is crucial to find time for yourself to do the things you love.
Mainly on long drives, makes time go by faster, and then when I used to work in an office during summer, I'd have one earphone in when they would let me listen to music or podcasts, and it just makes time go by faster. So mainly driving in an office whenever you can.
I'd say I listen to this podcast the most while I'm at work or driving in the car. Just times that I need to pass time or Not really like with other people, just hanging out by myself. I'd say a really good reason to listen to a podcast like this one is, like I said, I listen to it when I'm in the car and when I'm at work. And those are two times that it's like, if I could, I'd be hanging out with friends. But I mean, like, as you get to know people on this, on a podcast like this one, I mean, like I said, you get their inside jokes, and it's almost like, even though you can't hang out with your friends, you're kind of like hanging out with your friends. You get to know the people so well.
I'd say if someone wants a good laugh and is bored, part of my take, a lot of sarcasm, it brightens my day, makes time go by. It's just a lot of fun, especially if you like sports and you've never listened to this. You should definitely give it a try.
Pardon My Take was first released in February of 2016. It is now the #1 sports podcast and is released 3 times a week for their followers to catch up on sports news and games throughout the week.
Podcasts are one of the best ways to get sports news because it's very interesting and can be funny to listen to when doing everyday activities. Now, let's talk about an older way to get sports news, journalism. Tom Silverstein is a Packers insider, is here with us today to talk a little bit more about what he writes about. How you doing today, Tom?
Hey, doing great.
So, what made you get into journalism?
Well, growing up, I was a huge sports fan, and I was always wanted to be a professional baseball player, and soon realized that I did not have the athletic ability to barely make my high school team. And my mom suggested to me, well, why don't you be a sports writer? And so I started thinking about that, and right around 8th grade, I started, I used to read newspapers, the morning and afternoon newspaper sports section every day. And I just got really interested in it and started to follow that path, that maybe this is a way I could be around sports 24/7 instead of actually playing.
So, can you tell us what you do for the Packers?
Yeah, I always hesitate or react when people say for the Packers, because I work for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and my relationship with the Packers is simply such that I cover them. And it's very much I try to be as objective as possible in covering them. And my job is to basically let my readers know everything possible that I can find out about the Packers. Inside stuff they don't want you to know or want me to know, stuff that they do want you to know, and then to put some analysis behind it. Why are they doing this? What are their intentions? Are there things they're doing right? Are there things they're doing wrong? There's always a story behind everything that they do, and it's usually a lot deeper than what they want you to know. And so my job is to dig a little deeper and let you know, especially the Packers fan, what's going on behind the scenes.
So, with that being said, what's your favorite article you've written before for the WISN?
I would say of all time, there was a story I wrote recently just about the transition that the Packers organization made about when they went from Mike McCarthy to Matt LaFleur, and about the structure of their organization and how there were some flaws there, and there were some people that were not liked within the organization, and they had to figure out how their power structure was going to be. That's one of my favorite. And then early on in my career, believe it was in 1994, Sterling Sharp, the week before their opener, stood up in front of the team and told the players that if he didn't have a new contract, he wouldn't be with them on Sunday.
Tom, I'm sorry to interrupt, but unfortunately we are out of time. I definitely would like to thank you for being here with us today, though.
Okay.
Wow. It is nice to talk about a hometown team like the Packers. It's great to see a team like that doing so well. Now, let's take a look at sports fans' favorite time of the year, the craziness of March, which is the college basketball playoffs.
March Madness is a college basketball tournament in which 64 college basketball teams are ranked and placed into 4 different regions to compete in an end-of-the-year tournament to see who will take home the championship. This tournament was first started in 1939 and has grown greatly for fans to watch their favorite team play in the tournament while also enjoying major upsets. Last year, with COVID sweeping the nation, March Madness was canceled. This year, the NCAA is making precautions to make sure the tournament gets played to allow athletes and fans to enjoy the excitement of the college basketball playoffs.
My favorite college basketball team is Seton Hall. It's a school in New Jersey. It's in the Big East, so they play against people like Marquette, Providence, and stuff like that. They're my favorite team because I've had a couple family members that go there, 3 cousins, so it's been in my family for a really long time. I've been doing a bracket since like 7th grade probably, so like 6 years. That's just, I've watched college basketball even before that, but like that was the first year that I actually got into making the brackets.
Normally the games are spread out to different cities to get a wide variety of fans to come and watch their teams play. This year, the tournament will be played just in the state of Indiana, with most of the games being played at Lucas Oil Stadium and then 5 other field houses around the state.
It's really fun to fill out because there's a lot, usually there's like a lot on the line. You make some bets and anything can happen. It's a lot of upsets and stuff, so it makes it really interesting. I usually have a pool with my friends. We put some money on it, and whoever has the worst bracket does the punishment. Whoever has the best bracket gets the money. So, I mean, it makes it pretty suspenseful.
The college basketball season is just as exciting as the NCAA March Madness tournament.
I follow Seton Hall in like the Big East throughout the whole year because I like to see how they're doing, what seed they're going to get and whatnot. For the rest of the teams, I kind of see like who's the top 25 and stuff. But once the tournament hits, I'm all in on every team and I know everything about them.
In 2018, UMBC, a 16 seed, beat Virginia, a number 1 seed, for the first time ever that a 16 seed upset a 1 seed. The tournament always leaves memories that people talk about for the rest of their lives.
I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. I remember Loyola Chicago was playing against Miami. I was bowling with my friends and I looked up at the TV and Loyola Chicago hit this insane game-winning 3 at the last second. And me and my friends just started screaming, "There's no way!" Because Loyola Chicago, they're an 11 seed. Miami was a 6, so it was a huge upset. Oh, man.
A huge part of March Madness is the unpredictable outcomes that could happen.
Definitely because of the upsets, because any small school can just pop off one year and they can just upset every single big school, no matter how bad they were doing throughout the year. It makes it so entertaining, and that's why people like it more than the NBA. It's more predictable than the NBA.
The level of excitement and joy that brings sports fans across the world together will be back this year. The NCAA has already made plans for Milwaukee to be a location for next year's tournament.
March Madness sure is my favorite time of the year. Nearly 70 million brackets filled out each year. When you fill out your bracket, it takes a lot of thought and hard work to get the bracket to look the way you want. Becoming a Division I athlete requires the same techniques in the fact that you need to work hard in order to get where you want to be.
Playing a sport like tennis can be very beneficial to a person. It is a lifelong sport just like golf and is a great sport to play with your friends for fun and to stay active. Tennis can help you learn beneficial life skills and can be an individual or team game depending on which you would prefer to play.
The reason I love tennis so much is because of like the individuality of the sport, how like when you're training, you hit it, you're on your own end of the court. You're, for the most part in matches, you'll most likely be by yourself unless you're playing doubles. And I like the fact that during those times, it's all about the mental game. Like, once you get to the highest level, most players, they have all the shots, but the thing that separates them is on court in the tough situations, can they handle it mentally? And being by yourself, it really helps strengthen like your mind. And I think that like tennis is such a great sport to express like you, because you're out on the court by yourself. You can play the game to what you want, and I think it's really great because I don't really feel like any other sport you can really showcase that. So that's one of the reasons why I love tennis.
The level of tennis can become very high if you are willing to put in the work.
The level is just so much higher because you're surrounded by people who have trained their whole lives to get to this point and who take the sport just as seriously as you. So the skill is just, it's amazing to see. And when you look at a team, like the bottom player the team is only as strong as their bottom player. And for the most part, the bottom player, there's not much that separates them from the top player on the team. Like the level is so high. And the team atmosphere in college is like really incredible. Like in high school, we had a team, but I wouldn't say like it was the atmosphere and the support was always like amazing. But in college, we're all brothers. We all have each other's backs, and we support each other through everything we do. We pick each other up when we're down. So I think the team aspect in college is just something that is so much better than in high school.
Competing at a high level takes a lot of dedication and hard work to reach the level of play you want to get to.
Some advice I would give an athlete who aspires to play in college, especially at the D1 level, is people get so fixated on, oh, how many stars am I? What's my ranking in the country? What's my ranking in the region? Like, you just got to throw all that out and just, you can't care about that too much, because then you get so stuck on the idea that I have to be here, I have to be higher than this guy. But if you don't worry about that, it allows you to train freely, train hard, like grind every day. Because you see players in professional sports nowadays who are not rated out of high school, 1-star, 2-star, had to go to JUCO and then transfer. Like, you see that everywhere now. And those people are some of the most successful athletes that we have. And when you don't care about that, you start to be true to your training regimen, you're true to your grind, you become so motivated that it can take you far, because coaches will notice. Coaches will see, like, oh, this kid, I want him because of his work ethic. People don't care where your skills are right now, but if they think that you have what it takes to get to a certain level, they'll believe in you. And so I think that by doing that, you also have to surround yourself by a great group of people who want to succeed with you and want to see you succeed. Like in a team aspect, if you're a football player, you have to surround yourself with people who also want to get better just like you and who want it just as bad as you, because then you guys will push each other to get to the highest level. And I think in tennis, like, surrounding myself with good hitting partners and most importantly a coach who really wants to see me succeed is a thing that has like done so much for me and has helped me improve my game a lot the last couple of years.
Not only can tennis keep you active, it helps develop friendships that will last a lifetime. Having fun is the most important part of playing any sport.
Playing a sport is all about the chemistry you have with your teammates. Your teammates grow and start to become your best friends outside of the sport you all love. It's never about one sole person when it comes to team sports. Everyone has to give their all, each and every time you hit the field or ice.
I've been playing with Shaw for the last 14 years of my life. I started off as a skater and now I'm a goalie. I've been a goalie for the last 8 years, and now I play on the Shaw varsity team.
I am Daniel Reinke. I am one of the captains for the Shaw High School varsity team, and I am a left winger that plays for Shaw. I chose Shaw because most of my friends were going to Shaw, and I met most of my friends at Shaw, and it was just okay, I'm going to stay where I know a lot more people at than go to a different team and make all new friends again.
I chose to play Shaw varsity mostly because they have more games in the schedule than any other team, and they like to choose to play against more competitive teams during their season. I just like all the coaching staff as well. It's a lot better atmosphere to be around. Some of the benefits of playing at Shaw, one are you have more practices in your schedule, so you improve as a player, but you also meet a lot of great guys on the team as well. I've met many lifelong friends on the team.
Some of the benefits are playing with Shaw, again, are probably making friends and just having a good time, joking around with them a lot. And then playing with the little kids, looking up to you.
Being part of a team can help you develop skills you'll use in your everyday life.
I've learned a lot about teamwork and being versatile as a player on Shaw. You know, it's not always about an individual player, and I've learned to not be that individual player all the time. So I like to step down and let my teammates kind of, you know, do what they have to do. I mean, our team outside of Shaw still gets together all the time. I have many lifelong friends that I've made on the team that have now graduated, but I still hang out with them, even outside. We do team activities like paintball, bowling. We go out to restaurants after games. We do banquets, senior parties, everything of that sort.
I have learned the most from being with Shaw is probably the competitive level of it, and then probably just going out there having fun and just like playing your best as you can, because we play different teams and tougher teams, so it depends what team you play. You have to go and give it all, basically your all for each game. Shaw has affected me outside of the game of hockey because they made me more competitive in what any sport I'm playing, or outside playing sports, just talking to people, making new friends outside of Shaw.
Playing team sports helps make special memories between you and your teammates.
The team that we were playing in the playoffs to go to state tournament celebrated their victory against us, and they celebrated going to state the day before playing us. So the following day, we went and we smacked them in the playoff game and went to state. And we placed like second in state. It was a great memory. It was just great to prove people wrong.
My favorite moment is we went to state, probably Pee Wee B year, with a team that we were good. We were a good team, and we lost 1-0 in the state final. And then going 2 years ago with the same team in high school, winning state with them over and over again, was probably one of the better moments of my Shaw career, because that team should have had 2 state championships, but we only got 1 in the end.
And remember, it's never too late to join a sport and still compete at a high level.
For someone who wants to join Shaw or play hockey at a competitive level, it's not too late to join. It's never too late to join. I know plenty of people that joined even, you know, right before high school, and they're still playing at a very competitive level. It's a very fun sport, and I encourage anyone to give it a go.
Start at a younger age, because you can pick it up a lot easier, get down the develops of Shaw, or the develops are playing hockey, and then just going out there, trying your best, having fun, and just joking around in the end.
That wraps up this week's episode of SportyMKE. Thanks to Tom Silverstein for coming to the show and talking about the Packers and what is coming up for the team this season. Join us next week when we talk about the Brewers opening day and the upcoming baseball season. I'm Brian Schmidt. Thanks for watching SportyMKE.